Like in this business as a realtor, one thing I try to teach my realtors is to understand all facets of the real estate transaction, right? I'm a real estate broker, but I understand financing, real estate financing, all type of programs, real estate deals, FHAs, conventionals, VAs, cash, like all types of where you can finance a real estate deal. I know the requirements. I know the type of ratios, credit scores, requirements, who qualify for what, what type of programs certain buyers can qualify for. If they're self-employed, if they're W-2 employers, if they're entrepreneurs, what can and cannot do. I know the ratios, so that way when a lender is telling me something, I'm not going in blinding. I understand the rules, the regulations, I understand all of them. That's how you need to be. I know by speaking with a buyer if they can buy a property or not, if they'll be able to get financing or not. I know the right questions to ask. So a lot of time agents have deals that fall through and can't understand why. And but if you knew your stuff, if you knew real estate financing as you should as an agent, not that you need to be a loan officer. No, but you need to understand the fundamentals of real estate financing, so that way you're not going in blindly. You know the right properties for certain type of financing. For example, in Orlando, there's very, very, very few condominiums that you can purchase using an FHA loan. Majority of them, it's either cash or conventional. So you might get a pre-approval from a lender with an FHA financing on it, and you start showing properties to your buyer. You start showing them condos, not knowing that majority of condos are not FHA approved. Majority of them have to be purchased cash. Not knowing that fact, you can waste your time, waste weeks or months showing properties to a buyer, get them on the contract, just to have that contract canceled because they can't purchase it. They don't have the right financing for it. Had you known better, you would have saved a lot of time. I recommend realtors to take time to sit with a loan officer or read as much as they can about certain real estate financing options. You need to understand FHA loans. Who qualify for FHA loans? What are the requirements? What are the ratios? What are the credit score ranges? What properties are or are not eligible for FHA financing? You need to understand that. You need to understand the same thing for conventional. You need to understand the same thing for VA, USDA. You need to understand the same thing for even cash offers. Well, cash can pretty much buy any type of properties, but whenever you're dealing with bank financing or institutional financing to do a real estate deal, you need to understand the fundamentals because they're pretty much the same across the board. Interest rates here and there might be a little bit different, but as far as the fundamentals, the requirements for FHA, VAs and stuff is pretty much uniform all throughout because they all pretty much sell it to the same secondary market. So it's the same requirement. They all ask for the same type of condition for those properties. Appraisal has to follow the same guidelines to appraise those properties. So you need to understand that. To 1A, make sure that you're finding the right property for your client based on their financing. You need to understand the requirements so that way you don't waste time, both yours and your client's time, and as well as the lender's time. And a lot of times when you as the agent or the buyer or the lender figure out, this property may not be the right property for this type of financing, it's already too late. By that time, buyer had already spent a lot of money in inspection, appraisal, or even put a lot of money in escrow that could be in jeopardy. So as an agent, you need to know your stuff. You need to know each facet of your business. And when you do that, your life is easier. You close more deals, you have a higher closing rate, and you have much happier clients. As a matter of fact, that's what you're getting paid for, to know stuff. So a lot of agents just think that and just, I show property, get it under contract, and then that's it. Let me wash my hands with it. But there's a lot of pre-work that you have to do to ensure that it has the highest possible chance of closing and closing on time. So don't just get your client under contract and drop it to the lender's lap and thinking, okay, I'm just gonna wait till it's time to close. No, you have to set it up for success, and it starts with the property, the right property. That's it. Hello, Red.